It's time for Home Loans Radio on Real Radio with that mortgage guy, Don. Join the conversation. Text us at 77031. Now, here's that mortgage guy, Don.
Hey. Good morning. Welcome to the Home Loans Radio Show. We are here doing what we do every single weekend morning, here for your enjoyment, talking about what, MJ?
Oh, we talk about mortgages.
That's right. You nailed it. You nailed it again.
It's the same every time.
After week, you nail it. I'm here with my crew. I've got the Fritz man.
Soy estado unidense.
Yes, indeed. Good morning. And MJ's here with me, and we're here for the next 90 minutes. That's right. If you stumbled by accident upon this, that's okay.
Lucky.
Hey,
Give it
good.
a little taste. Give it a little try. Take a little sample.
And what's the worst that's going to happen to you?
Free
you know?
samples right here.
The worst that's
on
going to
Real
happen
Radio.
is you're coming around. You're going to be smarter on the other side.
Or the alternative.
Or the worst, yeah.
It could be real bad, actually.
We're here. I am a mortgage expert, and I am here every single weekend answering your questions about anything having to do with real estate, home loans, mortgages, buying a home, selling a home, how to refinance a home, how to split the baby, so to speak. If you need to, let's say you're getting divorced and you got to divide up that mortgage, or you want to add someone to the mortgage, or you want to add 3 people to the mortgage, or you want to give away your house, or you want to inherit a house, you name it. We're going to get those questions. People text them in live to 77031. You are invited to the party. It is a live show, a participatory show. So get those in there. What else, MJ?
Ooh, yeah.
Tell us what you're doing.
Tell us what you're doing out there. I love to hear what you're doing out there.
Yeah, you can text that into 77031. If you're here by appointment, welcome to the show.
Thank
you
you
for attending. Raise your hand. If you're present, honk your horn. We know you're out there. We can hear you breathing.
I don't think I have any horns on this board.
Well, add it to the list.
Add it to the list of things we need around here.
Oh, no. We have all we need. Love is all we need.
Love is all we need.
Right?
All you need is love.
Yeah. All right. Go, MJ. Next
all
line.
you need is love.
Now you're just
That's all
repeating
you
the
do.
same line over and over.
I was made for love and you made.
Oh,
No, wait,
that's
go
a
on.
good one.
I'll do the whole soundtrack of Moulin Rouge if you let me. So
That could happen. We've got 86 minutes.
All right.
all right. The only thing that will keep that from happening are your mortgage questions. So text it at 77031 and tell us what you're thinking about in the world of mortgage, or just, tell us what you're doing, because we really do like to know.
Fritz, what's going on in the mortgage news for this week?
Oh, let's see. Rates are steady.
Rock steady.
Nice.
Rock steady.
Nice.
Yeah.
Roxanne.
Oh, boy.
Also on the Moulin Rouge soundtrack.
I believe we've started an avalanche
Oh,
here,
dear.
Fritz, of Moulin Rouge references, but
That's
nothing
okay.
longer than 7 seconds, because we don't own the rights to
That's
that. So-
true. That's true.
Welcome. You can text your questions into 77031. You can also go to the website at homeloansradio.com. You can ask a question there by hitting the shout out button, or if you want to ask a question that comes to my email and get answered, your private one-on-one answer, you can do that at the website. At the
One-on-one.
box there that says Ask Don comes to my very
The
private
mortgage guy,
email.
after dark, answering your questions.
I answer them
In the dark.
in the sun. Well, I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah, see, I thought of it more as like an MMA, like get in the ring,
Right,
coward.
that's right. It's me and you.
1-on-1.
There you go.
He's some masked wrestler, he's got a steel chair in one hand.
Okay. I'm processing all this imagery that you guys are heaving at me this morning. Everybody's awake. That's good.
Yep.
Welcome to
Right?
Home Loans Radio. What is going on in the mortgage news, Don? Well, I'll tell you.
Oh, please do.
Don't despair. Hold
Please
your
do.
fears. Well, we always talk about interest rates. What's going on? People want to know what's going on
Yeah.
with the interest rates. It stayed the same as last week.
Right.
We're staying. It did go up in the beginning of the month. I would say a month ago, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, they were down in the 30-year best rates for somebody well qualified. Could be down in the 2.875 range. And then they ticked up to around 3%. And then we're seeing them hover just a little bit over 3 right now. And I think it's going to be continuing to tick up like for the rest of the year. Fannie Mae always comes out in October. Fannie Mae is a big government lending entity. Over half of the loans in the country are with Fannie Mae. If you've got a mortgage, there's a good chance you're with Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, or FHA. Like 90% chance your loan is with one of those three entities. But they always do this big survey and projection and economic forecast, I guess is what I should call it. And they do it in October of what they think the mortgage world is going to look like for the coming year, for 2022.
All right.
And they came out with their forecast. You can go online and read it as I did, or you can just I'll summarize it for you.
You do that for us.
I'll give you the cliff notes.
Thank you.
They're saying that guess what? Housing prices they think will continue to go up in 2021. But not as much. Like they went up about 15% over the course of 2020 thus far. They're projecting about a 7% increase next year. That's a lot more normalized. A normal amount for your home to appreciate in Florida is typically around 4 to 5%. Depending on where you are, it could be as low as 3 or as high as 6, but normally 4 or 5%. So they're projecting nationwide about 7%. A little over that next year. So yeah, that's good. What that means is part of the reason that everything moved up as quickly as it did, because there was a shortage of inventory. So if things are going to ease, it's going to have to do with more inventory coming onto the marketplace. And the other thing that they are projecting is that the interest rates are going to go up a little bit. Of course, we've been projecting that for a while. All the indicators show, mainly because of what they call economic, the tapering or the economic easing that the Federal Reserve is going to do. Right now, still, even currently, the Federal Reserve is buying billions of dollars of our own mortgage-backed securities and the 10-year Treasury bonds and other Treasury bonds every single week. It was to keep the market stable and keep the rates low throughout COVID. But they're going to have to stop doing that at some point, because the end result on the other end of that is inflation. I'm not an economist, but that's the net result that all the economists tell us is that we're going to start to have inflation if we keep the interest rates that low. So Fannie Mae's projection is that the average next year will be about a 3.3 rate on the 30-year fixed loan. Right now, we're below that. We're down close to 3. So what's the moral of the story? Well, if you haven't refinanced yet and you've got a rate with a high 3 or a 4 or a 5 in front of it, you should be looking at this now. It's not projected to get better, only projected to get worse. So
we're not mad. We're just disappointed.
I'm just telling you, all right. You don't have to, you don't have to refinance, but you should if you can, and it makes sense for you financially. You want to find out? You go to homeloansradio.com, hit apply now. We'll analyze your mortgage and put together a little rate sheet estimate for you and email it over to you. Then you'll know whether it makes sense or not. There's a lot of folks that are just doing. They're in what I call the wondering phase. MJ, you know what that is?
Yeah, I think so.
Tell me.
They're wondering about it.
Fritz, can you expound on that?
Is it more complicated than that?
Is it like wandering or wondering?
I would say both.
Okay.
Okay.
Then no clue.
I didn't know that part. I only knew the wonder, not the wander.
This is not an official mortgage term. I'm just
okay.
They might be driving. They're like, man, I'm wandering around. I'm wondering while I'm doing that if I should refinance. Well, you don't have to wander and wonder anymore. You just go to Home Loans Radio, hit apply now, put in a little info. We'll get you some actual real digits that you can take a look at and see if it makes sense for you.
So we have some questions coming in, but I also had I had a question.
Okay, let me recap real quick. Text in your questions to 77031 to Home Loans Radio. We will answer them live on air. This is a live show. Good morning. Congratulations. Go ahead, MJ.
Okay. My question is about the debt ceiling, the debit ceiling, the debt ceiling.
Your debit ceiling is whatever's in the bank account.
The debt ceiling that they, I keep hearing politicians say that if the debt ceiling defaults, which I understand what that means, and I'm curious how that reflects on the mortgage market, because what they keep saying is your rates or your mortgage payments are going to go up. Your car payments are going to go up. But I feel like that's not correct. I feel like that the payments you have now can't change unless you have a variable rate, correct?
On a mortgage, yeah. Your mortgage is locked in. Like if you, for the most part, the only mortgages that we do or that most people do through Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac or FHA or VA, if you have that kind of mortgage and you have your 30-year loan or your 15-year loan, That is a fixed rate loan, and that can't change.
And it won't change no matter what happens with the debt ceiling or anything else. Okay.
Nope.
So maybe the person who's getting a new loan, some things could be affected that way.
It could be. But when you sign your mortgage, I mean, some mortgages out there are adjustable. They're called ARM loans or adjustable rate mortgages. Very, very.
Are there a lot of those now?
No, I'd say very few. I don't know the official number, but based on what I see, maybe 5% of them.
Okay.
New mortgages. Now there might be some from the past, from 5, 10, 15 years ago that are still out there.
If you have one of those, go ahead and refinance.
Those will adjust because they adjust based on prime.
And that'll be
prime
affected.
has been held very low by the Fed for the last almost 2 years, and they are saying already that they will be raising that in the 2022 range. Next year, the following year, they'll be raising that. So that affects you if you have a home equity line of credit. Most of those are based on prime plus.
So those would go up.
So if that's what they mean by a mortgage,
I bet that is.
Your
answers my
HELOC
question.
loan will go up.
I understand.
If you have an adjustable rate mortgage that's going to adjust, that very well could go up. That depends on the original index, though, of what it was when you got the loan and what it is now when it reaches its adjustment period. So like if you have a 10-year ARM, that loan is fixed whatever rate you had for the first 10 years. When you get to that 10-year anniversary point, then they look at the index that it was based on, either the LIBOR or the treasuries or whatever index it was based on. And if that's worse, then your rate gets worse. Simple
I didn't
as
think
that.
a LIGOR was a thing.
Not
A liger?
I thought that was a made up creature.
Oh, not a liger, and they exist.
Oh, right. That's right.
I think they do. Do they, Fritz?
Yes, yeah, it's a tiger and lion hybrid.
It seems like it would be a lion and tiger hybrid.
Right?
It's a tiger lion.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be a Tylo? A Ty-Lie?
Well, a lot of people think a lot of things about the liger. No, it's a liger is a hybrid offspring of a male lion and a female tiger.
Now you have this. Is this a tattoo that you have that you just read off so quickly?
And
Let's put this in the category of things Fritz knows.
they're massive. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Things
right.
Fritz knows.
No, I was saying LIBOR, LIBOR. It's the London Interbank something exchange.
Yeah,
overnight
okay.
rate exchange between. Basically, it's the money that's exchanged between the UK and the United States. There's a rate of exchange called the LIBOR. It's either been or almost phased out, but I'm not 100%. I haven't looked it up in a while. But all of the ARM loans that were done over the last 20, 30 years were all based on that index. Well, I shouldn't say all. A lot of them were. There's a couple other indexes, the coffee index and the 10-year treasury.
What?
This is going to bore the crap out of people, MJ.
Coffee index.
Don't ask me that question.
Sorry.
That's another fund. It's
okay.
It's a different kind of fund. But anyway, I digress. You can text in your questions to 77031.
Do go.
For fun. Please text us your questions.
For fun. We got that fun.
Sake. Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead. I know you got some there. Let's
First
do
off,
one before the break here.
Kevin from Missouri is telling us that he's listening from Iowa and it's chilly, 40 degrees in Iowa.
Kevin from Missouri always tells us he's from Missouri, but he's listening from Iowa.
That's interesting. Kevin, we want to know more about your situation.
I think he's on the run. Kevin is in Iowa.
If anyone's looking for Kevin.
For.
Maybe he means he's from Iowa, like, his place of origin.
I think maybe he's on the road because he's always telling us where he's from and where he is.
Well,
and,
we like it, Kevin. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for chipping in.
I'm less than 36. I'm less than 36 months from paying off my house. What is the process to remortgage it and use the money to buy land to build a house?
Oh, that's a good question. So you're less than 36 months. I'm guessing that you have a great deal of equity, whatever the house is worth.
Right.
You can take out a cash out refinance of up to 80% of that amount. You don't have to take out 80%. You could take out 50 or 40. And then it also depends if you're going to buy the land cash, then the equity of that land, when you get ready to do your construction, you can use the equity of that land as a down payment. There's a little more to it, but we're running up against a break here. Let's do the break and we'll come back and do a little bit more about that question.
Hey, this is Deborah Roberts from The Jim Colbert Show, and you're listening to Home Loans Radio on Real Radio. Now, back to the show with that mortgage guy, Don.
Good morning. You are listening to Home Loans Radio with Fritz and me. And also that mortgage guy, Don. Okay, most importantly, that mortgage guy, Don.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Who drops serious mortgage knowledge on us every
Seriously.
week. Serious. It's very serious, actually.
And yeah. Welcome back to the show, folks. We're here with you, doing what we do every single weekend morning, holding court here at the Home Loans Radio Show. You can text in your question to 77031. Many fine folks already have done so, and we'll start answering some of those. You
were finished.